It's definitely worth the watch. I spent 3 weeks researching it, and it's really annoying when people are like, you took her out of context. It's like, bitch, I don't research someone for 3 weeks to take them out of context. Silence, peasant. But the video basically is about Pearl and the message she sends and basically her hypocrisy. And to sum it up, basically there was a time in 2021, summer 2021, where she had the opposite takes, where she was actually reasonable. And she said things like, yeah, these guys with really high body counts, they think they're going to get virgins, like fresh and fit. She specifically named them. They're delusional because virgins don't really want guys like that, especially when it's because of God. And then you look forward a month, just 1 month in her YouTube, and she's saying things that are complete manosphere talking points. So she completely changed her stances within 1 month. Nobody changes their morality in 1 month. 180. That's insane. So I think 100% she's a grifter. I have all the timestamps in there. And I think that the message she promotes for men to cheat is absolutely disgusting. And it ignores all the consequences of it, regardless of, if it's societally okay. Yeah, there's other consequences to it that you're just ignoring. So you're promoting sociopathy and pathological behavior. And she teaches women to not have boundaries too. And she shows that within herself as well. Her saying, I would accept cheating. I don't know how many times, but yeah, for the right guy. It's like, that's so bad for the right guy. So depending on how sharp his jawline is how much shit he can treat you like. That's very psychotic.
It sounds very similar to Kevin Samuels, who would always bring up the point of like, sorry, as a woman, you just have to be willing to share. If you want a successful man, a 666 man or whatever, you have to be willing to accept the fact that he's going to cheat on you. You have to share him. You're either going to be a mistress or you're going to be the wife, and he's going to fuck around on you, and you have to be okay with that. I'm just like, there's a difference between a single guy cheating and fucking around and a guy with kids and a family being like, I deserve better, you know?
Yeah, and there's a difference between like, hey, these people who make a lot of money, they tend to be this type of way because it tends to be like sociopaths get ahead in life. Everyone knows that. So it's one thing to say that, right? It's one thing to say that, and then it's one thing to say like, this is what you deserve and this is what you're going to get and you will like it, you will accept it. That's completely crazy to me. And I think that everyone deserves the bare minimum decency of someone not lying to you and saying what they mean when they say, I am committed to you and I will not break these boundaries. That is something very dishonest. And I don't think you should be dating people who are that level of dishonest. Because what else are they going to lie about? Well, how much other harm into your life? So I actually think
the girl manosphere voice always felt strategic. Interesting. I mean, she has a very specific, passionate point of view, and she stands out for it for sure.
It's because
like she shows up in my YouTube shorts, and I had never heard of her before until she started showing up in my YouTube shorts.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That's how I caught on to her as well. Was Allie had mentioned her, and then I saw the TikToks coming up about her, and I saw some of the stuff she was saying. But honestly, I think she's a lot worse than Kevin Samuels for multiple reasons. At least Kevin Samuels was original and had an original thought or two. Pearl has not. I've never heard her utter. And let me tell you guys, I researched her for 3 weeks. I've watched a lot of her content. I've personally never heard an original thought from her. Every single point I've heard has been regurgitated from the manosphere, and she specifically watched Fresh and Fit and Kevin Samuels, and she's talked about that too. So Kevin Samuels is better because number one, he's more original. Number two, he was more entertaining. Like he had one-on-one sessions where he's talking to girls.
Hilarious.
At least he's attempting to help.
He had funny sound effects. He'd have a button that'd be like, I'm a PhD. You know what I mean? Like his sound effects were hilarious.
Yeah. So I have my criticisms of him, right? I made the video on him, and it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, actually, never mind. But like, if I have to pick one, Kevin Samuels is better because at least he is more entertaining and does a little bit more help versus Pearl is not original at all. So it's really unfortunate that it's
Has she responded to you yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm sure. Do you think she will?
Now I really want to watch this video.
You should.
They're pretty good. I was alerted to this tonight on our members only show. Actually, some listeners said, oh, you're going to be on with Brittany. You should talk to her about this, whatever, the Pearly Thoughts or whatever the fuck, this Pearl chick. And I watched some of your videos on her, the clips of her just like saying, oh, women have just too high of standards, you know, like you've got to just accept that the guys will cheat because you make your home miserable and stuff.
so
It's like
sad,
that's not
though.
a good
It's
thing
so
to like start
sad.
breeding. Like,
No,
like
it's
that
terrible.
line of thinking. That's really sick, actually.
It's almost like
It
I
is.
prefer someone like Allie Drummond because she dips a toe into the manosphere, but at the same time, she's like, this is how you keep your marriage hot. These are things you can do to like keeping your relationship from getting to a point where like the dude is thinking about cheating.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And also, she's married. She's about to have her baby, so it's like she's actually like living the life that she's talking about or talking
Walking the
about
walk.
explaining.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit different when this person is giving all of this advice, but they themselves don't have what they're trying to teach to attain.
Sure, like
Yeah,
is this Pearl chick with anyone? You know,
What was that?
like is this Pearl chick? Is she with anybody? Like, does she?
No, and I point that out in
No,
video.
no.
And it's worse. Her exes she picked were awful. Like one lied to her. He's a guy from TikTok. He's this obese guy from TikTok. He has a big following, and he lied by omission to her after living with her. I think I pieced a puzzle together. I'm pretty sure it was him, and I posted the video why. And he had 2 kids. He didn't tell her. Okay, so this is the guys that she's picking, and it's not something that there's enough distance or like her saying, I learned from it. Here's what I learned. Here's how to help. Here's what not to do. None of that. She hasn't learned her lesson. You can see it based on the things she says and the way she presents herself and how terribly desperate she is. And it's very sad to see, honestly. Like she comes from a multi-million-dollar family, a 10-bedroom mansion with 9 siblings, and like, you can't do better than that. And this is what you're telling women to do too. You're leading by example. And she herself says she won't go to a therapist who's single with no ring because why would she listen to her if she can't maintain relationships? Same goes for Pearl. She's 26 years old, can't maintain relationships, not healthy ones.
Right. So are you kind of saying that like it sounds like all of her relationships have failed and stuff like that, so she's finding ways to maybe excuse it, like maybe it's like her fault or something, and she's like, oh, you know, these guys, you know, this is just how they behave and you need to be okay with that because that's reality, and that's what she's doing maybe to make herself feel okay with it.
Yeah, it definitely could be a cope. And it just goes to so many different areas. Even when it comes to physical appearance, she's preaching to people, oh, well, you know, women need to be attractive. And it's not that that's wrong, right? And unfortunately, people will take that and be like, see, someone said the talking point I like, therefore they're fine. And it's totally okay if they fuck up. You're not allowed to criticize them. That's crazy. I've seen some comments like that. But she herself, despite being a professional athlete, is not in optimal shape. Like she is not taking care of herself physically. I mean, you would be shocked to find out she's a volleyball player.
That part of your video, I was dying. I was like,
I body shame her, Venti.
That was so funny though, because it was like she was like Venti is so right. Like she's got like the most like ridiculously dirty, disgusting hair, and I'm like, why is this chick popular? I just don't. It's like sticking to her head. I'm like,
she doesn't shower.
Maybe she's just a tomboy. I don't know.
She is talk about what Lila's eating right now.
Look at this.
What is that?
Because
Lila's like, let's change the subject. Look at my food.
Is that like mozzarella with balsamic glaze
I
on
like
it?
the subject. I just want to show you.
Oh my god!
looks
Eric
so
made you
good.
that, didn't he?
oh my
Yes,
I've
god,
been in your house when he's made you that before. It's good.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, I've had it before
hungry.
at Lila's house. It's really good.
I'm
He's a
super
good
hungry
cook.
now.
He makes a lot of good meals. I would die if
Good.
it wasn't for him. So I recommend getting. If you don't know how to cook, you should find someone who can.
That's good advice for Pearl too.
That would not be tolerated in the manosphere, Lila.
oh my
I just get
god.
HelloFresh.
But yeah, one, it's like she herself is trying to find a husband and has openly said this in a very desperate manner, along with her saying, I would accept cheating. So it's like, you can't keep on telling women, you need to do this
You're
and
setting
that.
yourself up for failure with that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
Right, because every guy's gonna run roughshod all over her all the time.
And there's a difference
Absolutely.
between being a cool girl and having no respect for yourself. Like, and I think tolerating cheating is you're not having respect for yourself, and you don't think you're actually worth somebody not cheating on you.
But she's seeing it as one of those cool girl moves, like, oh, I'm one of the guys. I'm cool with
Oh, I'm
cheating,
cool.
guys. Like, it's
Have sex with the
fine.
girls. Just do it in the house,
Mhm. Oh God, just bring her right on in. We'll have movie nights together and fuck.
Just
No.
keep it where I can see it,
Right. I'd rather you would do it in the house, kind of like drinking for teenagers. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god.
I don't dislike Pearl. I think I had her on the show. She's got a very unique voice. She does make a lot of good points.
I don't
but
agree. I think that they're all stolen from the manosphere community, like Reddit and Kevin Samuels. Like literally, I've never heard her say anything original.
She's doing that.
I
she's
posted
also
proof in the video,
doing
Chrissy.
it
I encourage
for-
you to watch it.
I will.
Sorry, go
she's
on.
doing it. She's taking that stuff, but she's trying to do it for a different audience because there's a lot of people who don't want to watch people like Kevin Samuels.
Right.
She's doing
He
it
said-
and trying to be something different to try and get these values out to other people. But
That's why
even
it's
if
a
it's not
grift.
coming out right,
Yeah, but that's why it's like a grift because she's trying to tap into that same audience that doesn't necessarily, like you said, like Kevin
almost-
Samuels,
and her
but then they can get the same message from
her
somebody else.
delivery is kind of like it doesn't sound like she's trying to reach women. It sounds like she's trying to reach and impress dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she is. That is her target audience.
Yeah, like young
I
men.
included a clip of a woman explaining it really well from TikTok that I had seen. How she specifically targets men by pressing their pain points over and over. It's a marketing strategy. It's a marketer that explained it. Yeah, their pain point of being unable to get women. So it's like if you keep pressing it over and over, then they feel heard. And she's like, oh, then I can tell the women, I'm speaking to the women, and I'll convince them of this and that, so that you will get the thing you want. So that's what she's doing. It's a manipulative marketing thing. And also with her copying, I'm not just saying that. Like I post literal times. I had more than that, by the way. That's why this video took so long to do. I had more than one example of everything I talked about. So I had to go through and cut this video down so many times, to the point where it was like 46 minutes on Patreon. Then I had to cut it down to 39. I had so much, but there's a clip of her just regurgitating what Andrew Tate says, what Fresh and Fit say, and she just does it under the Pearl brand. It's not really her content. She's just mimicking what she sees works. And you can see that based on the timeline of her saying the opposite things and talking shit about Fresh and Fit. And then a month later, it's the complete opposite on her YouTube channel.
The part that was really crazy about your video was when you were showing when she was actually kind of genuine and like when she was doing like the car videos and stuff, and then how like her message totally changed. Like she started saying like the exact opposite. Venti put out receipts for everything she talked about. It was a good video. It's really
Thank you. And it's to the point, by the way, where she will get a predominant, and I'm not the only one who knows this. Hotep Jesus pointed it out too. I saw the interview. Oh my God, that was a train wreck. Hotep Jesus was like throwing those like silent daggers at her the whole time. It was like a very passive aggressive show. Yeah, it was very entertaining to watch. I was like, because every time I saw it, because I know the information I know, so I know exactly what he's referring to, and it's like, oh, he didn't just say that. Oh my God, it's just like, nobody, if you don't know the context, you would just be watching and thinking it's like a regular interview. But if you know what he's talking about and saying to her, then you're like, oh my God, like the whole thing that's going on. But it's to the point where she has like predominantly Black panels, just like how Fresh and Fit do. And it's funny because she's in London. Keep in mind, she's not in America. London has only like 3% of Black people. Why is she like exclusively recruiting Black people? I just want to know why. Why is that? What is the theme she's running on her show? What's the narrative she's pushing? These are the questions you should be asking.
I don't even know enough Black people to do a Black panel.
I was just thinking that. Like,
I mean,
not
I
out of like,
really scrape them together.
right, not out of like dislike or anything. I just don't know that many people.
No. Oh, I guess this is it. Just Pearly Thingz interview, 2.5 hours long. Hotep Jesus. This was 4 days ago. Interesting.
Oh wow, this just came out.
Yeah. Okay.
Like she copied their entire
Are we gonna
show.
EPAP it?
I mean, it's 2.5 hours long.
What your childhood household
Childhood household.
parents together? They're separated? Are they,
Oh, I
just
like
getting
pair up,
by? Are
Hotep.
they affluent?
So okay, what do you hold on one second.
Mhm.
Do you
Uh-oh.
want that on? I'm sorry, my producer is a perfectionist, so he's upset with my audio.
Wait,
None?
her
Okay, thank
producer's
you.
a perfectionist, but she
He's the
lets her
best though,
dress.
actually, but
Okay.
That's what's up. Shout out to the producer.
yeah.
I wonder if she's trying to avoid answering the question.
Kind of, yeah.
No, so
Seemed
I
like
grew
it.
up in the Chicago suburbs, about 45 minutes away from the city.
Boring.
Okay.
And
I
my
have some
dad-
I'm hearing
timestamps
myself.
actually of this
What's
Oh, you do?
interview.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
do.
gonna have to go and watch this. But do you have any high points?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he did this too. He I
So
guess he
so
titled it.
at 18 minutes in, around there, he starts talking about her panel being or she talks about her panel being diverse, even though it's predominantly Black and sometimes Latina. It's around 18
But that means
minutes in.
diverse now, right?
Yeah, but
that's
it's, yeah,
diverse.
yeah, right. Like on how it's
Different
used.
kinds of Black people.
Sort of. I will say the first video that took off was I showed my friend the red pill for the first time. That was before the show, but yeah.
Right. Okay. So this video that you're talking about went viral. The red pill one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was that one about?
It was showing my friend a Jordan Peterson video.
You red pilled somebody off of a Jordan Peterson video?
Well, sort of. I mean, Jordan Peterson's not red pill, but it was talking about the
I love Hotep's quiet, nonchalant sarcasm.
Yeah, that the whole
Okay.
interview. It's
like
insane.
it's hard because people use red pill in so many different ways.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I was more talking about we're told the pay gap is one thing, but it's another. And so what I found was there would be girls that to me were so logical, but they just believed this stuff that just wasn't true. And so I sat my friend down and I showed her Jordan Peterson, and it was an hour video, and it's a 2.5 hour reaction of me just breaking down why as a woman you're not oppressed. And it's kind of cool for the audience because maybe
I missed the part about
yeah, it might have been
people.
right before. It's not a perfectly exact timestamp because I was watching it on
and I thought
the
London
TV.
was so cool because everyone in London, that was the most diverse place that ever lived.
Diverse.
And what was cool about London was I could meet someone from Italy and from Spain, and the cultures would just be so freaking different. And it was so cool. And
But
I just thought it'd be so
interestingly
cool to-
enough, all Black panel though, despite it being so diverse. But yeah, sorry for not having exact timestamps, but that's
Okay.
approximately where it is. And then at 1:12:30, Pearl says that she's not a money motivated person, which I found very interesting considering that, she changed her story completely 180
But
in order
generate
to
some
grift.
buzz and make me some coin, right? I think that is really where your passion lies.
Ooh,
You see?
you went for it.
What? Wait, what did he say?
Yeah. Yeah, you see,
Oh
violently does it. You
Oh
see?
man.
Wait, I totally missed that. Can you?
That
can
was
you
like
rewind
a
it?
sniper.
I know.
That was wow. That was
That
top
was
of a building.
smooth.
What the hell just happened?
I just,
It's nonchalant.
Trying to understand Pearly. It just seems like you're a future production filmmaker / content, guru type
almost
person.
sounds like a
I think
compliment.
that's really where your passion lies. Is I want to create content that is going to generate some noise, generate some buzz, and make me some coin, right? I think that is really where your passion lies.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's just like, what?
I like making.
Oh, this is painful.
I just follow what I'm interested in. I'm not really a money motivated person, to be honest.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I think
She said
nobody
she's not a
is.
money motivated.
Swiveling intensifies. Oh man,
Algorithm hit though. If you see the algorithm,
that algorithm though.
it's hey, it's going this way, right? Like when you're talking about the TikTok strategy, you kind of see what's working, what's.
Oh bro. Come on. I'm using Microsoft Edge and everything.
And then what hits, you're like, all right, that's a lane right there. I'm going to hit that lane.
Oh, what is wrong with my dumb ass browser?
Right. So whether it's TikTok's doing,
she does not feel comfortable.
Or you're doing a house tour,
Oh yeah, as the interview goes on, it gets worse. She gets silent at one point.
You're gonna grind it out. But I think it's in the content creation sphere because that's what all these things surround is content creation. You're building a content house.
No answer.
Right? You have the studio. What's the studio called?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh, you never named the studio?
No.
Oh man, you gotta
She's
name the
so
studio,
defensive.
baby girl.
She's like, you're black. I thought this was gonna be easy for me.
Give it an African
Wow,
name too.
she's barely talking at this point.
He's trying to make it light. He's like,
I
I'm
watched this
clearly
whole
put her
thing.
on the defense. Yeah.
She was very uncomfortable during this whole thing, but the thing I find funny is she really should have just leaned into it and just been like, yeah, I got 1 million point whatever followers. I know how to get people to watch my videos. I know the talking points. You could just be mad about it, but I am out here making money.
Or she could have leaned into, I know it looks this way, but what makes me feel good is that I'm genuinely helping people. I get this, and that, whatever. Like, well, I'm sure there's people she's helped. She should have mentioned that because if this is something this is something that makes you look like a non-genuine griftery type person, then you need to balance that out and tell a genuine, you need to like make yourself vulnerable or tell like a genuine story, or you need to like, all right, say something that tips the scales even again.
And also, if she really did watch Kevin Samuels as much as she said she did, there were a lot of times where Kevin Samuels would get ridiculed, but he would say, I've gotten 12 couples married through my program.
Yes.
I've gotten people husbands and wives. I've connected people. And yeah, she should have leaned into that and said, I've helped people and I'm starting a conversation that people aren't talking about. And I know what I'm doing, whatever.